Black says the Abba, MaKaaMaKa. Entertainment and sports, MaKaaMaKa. I say politics, MaKaaMaKa. Royal Black says, Assembly Safwa, Bia Assembly Puno, Sanepi Adekami, Ekome Yakotokumi, Ekome Yamisebe, you want love fake hanging, MaKaaMaKa. Royal Black says the Abba, MaKaaMaKa. All the trending issues, MaKaaMaKa. I say politics, MaKaaMaKa. Entertainment and sports, MaKaaMaKa. RBJ Diaba, where you full from cry. Asemi Safwa, yeah, Asemi Puno. Sasemi Noba, yeah, Becca. Senya Betino, Sababe na Yebekano. MaKaaMaKa, Akasane Kwedewo. What by you no ni one na jeno na ke. What by you no ni one na jeno na ke. Say your politics RBJ Becca, or Becca, a sports RBJ Becca, or Becca, entertainment to RBJ Becca, or Becca, trending issues RBJ Becca, or Becca. MaKaaMaKa, yeah, Diabao, Becca. MaKaaMaKa, yeah, Diabao, Becca.
Hello there. Welcome to Trend Africa, where we give you the best of live streaming across all states in the US. We also do web designing, event planning, MCing, app creating, and promotions. Or if you want to shoot an advert for your business or a show, you can contact us on +1773 312 0318. For more information, you can visit our website at www.trendafricaonline.net and also on our social media platforms at Trend Africa TV. You can download our app Trend Africa Online on the Google Play Store and App Store. Trend Africa, redefining Africa.
My name is Eunice Cromwell and I'm the business manager of the Ghana National Council. Make sure you always watch Trend Africa TV.
Welcome to Africa.
What's up, people? It's your boy Royal Black Jesus, aka RBJ. You know what time is it? It's Sunday. Sunday, and Sunday. Kwesi Ada. Kwesi Ada. And then Sunday, you know how it is. Sunday, so yeah, the Sunday, but yeah, Sunday be na the MaKaaMaKa and MaKaaMaKa. Sunday be the MaKaaMaKa nam. And you know the MaKaaMaKa so nam and that team now ready. We are here to talk about issues that went on the whole week. I mean, you know what it is. We'll yes, you ever share your dream, our opinions and things like that. We have the political guru on board. I mean, doing what he does is like a president now, because of all diving into the political arena, and you know, the steps are sakra. You still like a can't pay, and then so Nyamia Shrine with another beautiful family member. I mean, who are actually joined the team. Honestly, honestly, why introducing the home. She has a platform that she does a lot of good stuff in there. She will explain it. She'll come back. She'll come on board and tell her what she does. She's a social media commentator, and you know the course be so honestly, so we are happy to have her on board. You need to see her, but later we'll bring her in, and then you guys will see her, and then we'll talk more. But then. Freestyle Sunday. I mean, we started this freestyle Sunday from I think about a month now, and it has been good. So this Sunday, even though MaKaaMaKa, we have a freestyle Sunday, and then there will be a interview. We'll have a name for it. But from now, your best friend MaKaaMaKa, aka Freestyle Sunday. You be baby, you be fra be baby can be. And you know, the baby we see your idea. We'll talk about it. We have something to say about it. And you know, and we'll take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, then I'll bring my pundit in, my family in, and then we'll rub some shoulders. Someone name the way na emfa assembia and the ember maya wahano. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll come back. We will dive into our trending issues.
The Jasihin of Ampia Ejumako in the Central Region cordially invites you to the coronation of Bright Ishmael Ochi to Nana Kwame Benyin Okuchieku the 8th. Date is Friday, August 20th, 2021. Venue is Ampia Ajumako Derby Grounds. Time for the Derby is 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Reception is at 3 p.m. Contact these numbers for more information.
All right, so we are back, and I have my political guru on board. I will start with him, and then tell us how the week. The whole week. No, I don't think Sam Kasai. I don't know. Did I? I don't know. I don't remember. But
No, we haven't. But we
I know.
tested a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm a political guru on board now. That's Alfred Amuzu. When I say political guru, I mean somebody that knows politics, talk politics, eat politics, swim politics, everything politics. That's the guy. So Alfred, how's your week, my brother? Today we have a special family.
Yeah.
I've joined the team, so I'm so happy to have her on board to bring her in. But before that, let me see. What do you have in your sleeves, and what do you have to tell us during your week? How's your week? Family, everything. Tell us right now.
Yeah, Blacks, thanks for asking that question. And I'm going to walk it backwards. So let's start from the guest we have, the new family member we have today, Adora.
That's right.
And I'm sure the viewers will be, or our cherished listeners will be, and would I want them to wait, but they are going to actually enjoy her today.
Yes.
We chose the people specifically so that they come and speak with you, talk with you, in a way that you would understand. So I am particularly excited, and it's becoming like the highlight of the week. So let me walk it backwards.
Yes. Yes.
I'm interested. I'm ready for this conversation, and I know Joy after today will stay. She's not going anywhere. We are about to lock the door and throw the keys away. So viewers, just wait for what we are about to enjoy today. Thanks for joining our Joy, and I really look forward to the conversations. So I had to give you a whole lot of information so me and you can create my own Ghana agenda version of the fireworks that comes in.
Yes. We are working on it. We are
working on it. Just to segue into Ghana agenda yesterday, we had 3 things we talked about. We discussed Kobina Japan, who has been elevated to be the chair of Ghana Gas. And we are saying, should he be getting extra responsibility at this time? Because as we speak in Parliament, he's also the chair of the Parliamentary Committee in charge of Defense and Interior, which means military defense related activities. Usually it's in the hands of the executive. The president's run over that. He is the supervisor over that because Parliament provides supervision over the executive, and the committee that does that, he's the chair.
So are you trying to say that he's more like a commander in chief in the security sector?
Well, you can define it that. So it's interesting that it's not only the defense, right? Interior means police. Everything done by the police administration has to be supervised by the parliamentary committee. They can call any leader, whether it's the IGP and bring them to answer questions in Parliament. And he's in charge of that. On top of that, he's just been elevated to be the board. So Ghana Gas, right, which is the company formed to manage our gas resources in Ghana, because as we discovered the petroleum, we dig the petroleum out, so it comes with gas. We discovered gas in addition to several, and we using our own gas to generate electricity now. So there's so many potential for the gas. We can use it for fertilizer. There's so many components, even the petrochemical industry, etc. So there's so much going on in the gas discovery or our gas resources. He has been elevated now as the chair of the board of directors. like
Wow.
which is like the highest
The Uno.
governance body
The Uno.
in charge of
He's the top notch.
he's the chairperson of that too. So we are like, is this guy being given too much responsibility? All right. So I'll have us talk about that today.
That's right.
Because I think it was a very interesting conversation we had on the Ghana agenda, and we wanted to bring it back here and discuss it with our viewers in a way that we would all understand and enjoy and kind of get to appreciate what is going on in Ghana.
Nice.
The other things quickly would be that we have a new IGP, which is a young man, fine doctor. And so many people are reacting positively to his appointment. And also, Parliament just confirmed our new special prosecutor, which is like the Amidu's job. Remember when Martin Amidu, the office of special prosecutor, he was the special prosecutor. We just now have a guy, our academic guy, Kisi Ajaben, confirmed by Parliament. I hope I don't know if you listened to, but I hope the viewers actually watched his vetting and some of the brilliant discussions or things that he proposed. I'll be bringing some of those up and we'll talk about all that. That has been the agenda, but the rest of the week has been great.
Nice.
Mostly around family. I'm teaching them to read a clock so they know where 12:30 is. So when I ask them 12:30, they can wake me up.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice one. So I mean, let's bring our beautiful member in, and then we'll welcome her the way MaKaaMaKa welcome is, and it's nobody. I mean, we have our sister, Adjoa Odomensa. That's the name, right?
Yes.
Adjoa Odomensa. Yes, she's our new member for MaKaaMaKa. So right now we have solid, strong team, and I'm so happy to have her. She comes in with a lot of experience when it comes to communication, marriage counseling, some type of. I mean, she has so much under her sleeve. I'll let her tell her who she is and then what she's bringing on board, and then I mean we are already happy to have her. I mean I think she's not going nowhere. So, Mami Adjoa, you are welcome on this very platform, and we are so happy to have you as a member of MaKaaMaKa family.
Oh, thank you so very much. I greet you all and also the viewers and loved ones, supporters on this productive platform. I'm
Nice
happy
one.
to be here. And, I'm like someone who can blend in with whatever topic is brought on the platform. I'm able to hold conversation very well, but we are human. If and when I say something that is not productive or it offends someone, I'm going to apologize in advance because
That's right.
it's nothing personal.
That's right.
We have to speak the truth, and the truth is like something that a lot of our community, society, we have a hard time accepting it. It's like, and politics is a game.
That's right.
So it's like playing gambling. Whichever one comes, if you win, you win. If you don't win, you don't win. But at the end of the day, the country should supersede our political views.
That's right.
In every way. So I'm happy to be here. And today's topic, from Brother Fred is like awesome. I'm loving it already.
That's right. Yeah. That's awesome. So,
I'm ready to go.
Yes, I'm loving it.
Yes, Alfred, you have a fight coming to you now. I can tell.
I see. The battle is set. I'm ready to go.
I can tell you that we have two strong women in our team that are in love with Nana Akufo-Addo. That I can tell you. So,
hey,
that I can tell you. So anything that goes negative way with that side, then you are in trouble. So you know that there is a lot of debate and argument coming in. I mean, when it comes to politics and anything bad from that corner. So, Mami Adjoa, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you married. I mean, family, kids. your background when it comes to your profession. When I talk about your professionality,
Okay.
yeah, you know what I'm talking
All
about.
right. Well, greetings again. My name is Adjoa Odomensa. You can call me Adjoa or Adjoa Odo, or whichever way you comfortable with. That's fine with me. So like for me, I'm married. Oh my gosh, going to my 14 years.
Nice.
It's like awesome. But my husband and I've been together for 17 years, and I have 3 children, two
Nice.
boys and 1 girl. The girl is the last born, so you can see she's spoiled, like any last born. I major in psychology, and I work in the I would say milieu field. I work with different individuals who have different disabilities. So like I have to support and arrange and provide some services by connecting with programs that is able to provide the support that they need, and also to assist the family members who has been taking care of them prior to me coming in as their care manager. I have worked with autistic kids for like over 14 years, but
Wow.
with my previous job, I left that previous job when I had a motor vehicle accident. So during the time I was in recovery, they wanted me to resume, but the doctor has not cleared me yet. So they let me go, and they asked me to reapply, and that's not something that I'm flying with. So I chose to like leave the place altogether, because if you don't appreciate the work that I have put in over 10 years, then I don't think that they deserve to have me on their team to work with them. So for right now, the work that I'm doing is what I described earlier. I've been there for going to 2 years now.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Let's keep it. The reason why we did this, we want people to know that most people that sit on this very platform are professionals and not just people, So, we don't know it all, but we have some ideas and things like that. People, you can take our opinions. You can take, we all gonna show our opinion and things like that. So it's not. But we are trying to say that we don't know it all. We are still learning from others and things like that. So we have a psychiatrist in here. We have a accountant. We have another nurse. We have a radio and a business guy. There's a whole professional setup here. So hey, we are here to help, and we are one family. So let's go back to business. Let's start with some first video that I saw. It's a funny video. Let me start with the funny video first, and then we'll go in with there's this a boy here or a boy something trying to insult a fear odor of supporting the what do you call it
Fix the
supporting the
country.
fix the country issues and things like that, and we'll dive in and then go. But this is how this video is amazing. Be per video way because I like the fact that and yet the way they handle him. No, I just love the fact. I just love it. So let's watch this video, and then I'll take all of you your opinion on that very video and see what you guys think.
I won't in the end. So, them not so hey, joint things for we want.
Sweet.
And what do we be honest right? So,
Got it.
we do that.
Can we are there.
Hey, God,
So this is how our Fanti brothers and sisters handle things like that. I believe that you're a Fanti.
Me, I'm a can.
I can. Okay. So what
Yes.
do you think of? The reason why I played this video, right? I liked it. I like the way things went. I mean, they didn't beat him. I mean, I believe that they touch him here and there. But when you look at when you go to Nigeria and South Africa and things like that, they'll burn you alive. You know. And then when I see my brothers having fun with this man, I believe that alone can change, can let him stop what he's doing. What do you think? What do you think, Mami?
Well, thank you, Brother Black. You know, in so many ways, a lot of times, when there's a situation, some of us don't think about the underlying issue. How did this person started, doing what it is that he started doing, and how has it affected him emotionally and psychologically, and what is he getting out of it? So the fact that they chose to very much so, like, make a video, whereas yes, they did touch his head, and stuff like that, but they were not brutally abusive towards him, because he's a human being the same way that they are, because a lot of times we don't know people's story. So when we see certain people in certain situation, we just assume or accuse, or like think in a negative aspect. In every situation, we all need help, and people needs to be more compassionate. Even if the person has done wrong, we should never be the jury, the judge, or the executioner, because what we're doing is that we escalating the problem instead of de-escalating it. When we have problems at hand, we need to come out with solutions to find out how best we can resolve it, instead of doing things that will make it worse. Most of our people in our society community, we tend to like do things by sight, all right? And then when things happen, okay, if someone put their hands on someone, you see a next person, they might not even be involved. But the fact that someone has started that, I'm going to copycat, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. But what happens is that when someone comes in to do the same thing, they do worse than what the first person did. And that's something that we need to change in our community and society. We need to do better. If someone is not doing the right thing, or if someone is not kind of doing the things that we are not with, what can we do better? Okay, we shouldn't push ourselves on that level. We need to be an example. But how do we do that? Don't be just about talk. We have to, you can express yourself, you can let people understand where you're coming from. Emotions comes in different levels. I can be very upset, I can be mad, I can be angry, but we need to be disciplined with our feelings and express and talk about things that are bothering us, things that are not going well, things that are destroying our society community, instead of insulting, instead of beating people up, or instead of belittling somebody else. We shouldn't be doing that. So it's like our society do a lot of talk, but you don't have people standing up and saying, okay, I'm about this. So if I'm about this, this is some of the things that I have accomplished. What can you people who supporting me can also help to be able to do X, Y, and Z? So the video is a bit, it's funny in some way, but you can show it to another person. They might have a different feeling to that. The fact that somebody, slap him in the back of his head, because we all know our eyes is in the back of our head. So it's like, if you hit that hard, that can automatically, it can affect his eyesight, right? So, but some people don't know that.
Alfred, I told you this woman is a.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think, your experience and your field, it's very obvious when you open your mouth. And the things you're saying, I'm just so fascinated about, the thought process. And I'm looking at this video. And I'm seeing this man is really not laughing.
Yeah.
People who are taking the video, they are laughing, right?
Mm.
They are forcing him to even, I don't think that is any different from if they were actually beating him mercilessly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The pain might be a lot more, but you are doing exactly the same thing. Or anyway, so things like this in a normal situation, like in our community here, or even in Ghana, it should be something you report to law enforcement.
That's right.
So law enforcement can deal with it. I'm sure beyond putting people in prison, they have rehabilitations, maybe work trainings, for people to not come back to this situation. Because this guy, unless, like you said, the root cause is dealt with, he's gonna go from this situation to the next one, which he may not be beaten, to the next one, which he may be beaten till one day he's mobbed and dead, and we don't know. So, like you said, we have to find a way to tackle the underlying causes of some of these things and not be judgmental and not be judges in our own courts and executing people on our streets. Very, very important. How do we even deal with this? It's my biggest headache. How do
Yeah.
we deal with something like this? Is it going to be true that is it going to be re-education? Because this is more. I don't know if I could even say this is almost a cultural thing. Almost, it is seen as normal. Once society sees this as normal, it becomes culture. When you are even doing it, because nobody thinks it's, a lot of people don't think it's wrong. You feel empowered and they get away with this type of things. So once, I hope we put systems in place that would make people not get away with things like this. And that would, that should actually make people take this to the appropriate quarters. And people should be more compassionate. I think the compassion should lead to those decisions as well, deciding to take it to the appropriate quarter for it to be handled with, whether it's retooling, retraining, but something has to be done to our culture. I don't know if it's going to be true education, and I hope my sister will help me.
Right. Wow. I want us to watch the video again, and then I like where you guys are
I
coming
won't in the
from
end.
with this.
So, them knows who I join things for women.
Sweet.
And who do we be honest with? So, when you the
Can I we are dead.
Hey, God,
All right. So I like the side that you guys are coming in from. But I see that. I mean that is true. I mean I think that is where the fix the country thing that we are talking about comes in. To be honest with you, it looks like Ghana is all messed up. I mean our situation or our people have taken the law into their own hands and they do what they want to do. And there's no structure, there's no place or there's no proper place to go to report cases like that because it has become, like Alfred is saying, it has become like a culture. It's normal now. It's normal. I mean, but I think that this is very, very important for we to look at. We are looking at for me, I'll tell you, it's funny. I mean, it's funny to me the way they told him to laugh, and then he's not in the mood of laughing, right? But they made him laugh by force, and then so I am looking at that aspect. But when you look at it on the other side, educational point of view, it's not right. We have to take this issue seriously because even though they haven't done anything serious to him, it still looks like it's still in the same bracket, so we have to I mean our and the point is do we have the structures to do that? Do we have the authorities to do that? Do we have do they believe in our you know police men? Do they believe in our what do you call it, law and order that we have in Ghana? Do they believe in it? Maybe they don't. Maybe they are not seeing anything. That is where the fix the country thing that we are talking about comes in. That we want our country to be fixed by strengthening our structures and things like that. So yeah, this is a very good video. I mean, it's funny video, but there's a lot of educational point in there that we all can learn from. What do you guys think?
Oh, you want me to go or you want
Yeah,
brother?
go ahead.
Okay,
You can
thank
always
you.
chime in.
You know, I'm glad that brother Alfred spoke in terms of the effect of the actions. He and I was like waiting for either one of you to pick that up, and he did. You know, like normally it's not beating somebody up that traumatized the person. And a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to emotional and psychological abuse, that lasts longer because it's invincible, right? We can't see the pain and the damage that it caused within the person, because you can see that this person, this guy, he was forced to laugh, and the laugh that he put out there, you can see that there was fear, because he felt that if he doesn't laugh, something else will happen, right? And then the guys behind the video recording, they were laughing not because of the guy laughing. They were laughing right after the guy standing behind, hit him in the head, for his knuckle and hit him in the head. So they find that entertaining. And that's what is wrong with a lot of us, like in terms of fix the country. Fixing a country is a good idea. It's a good incentive. It's a good movement, right? But how can one fix a country when the people within are dysfunctional? Because you can go about and say, okay, let's fix Odan, and I'm saying Odan because that's where I'm from, Odan police station, right? And how do we fix Odan police station? Because we have the building itself, right? And then we have the commander-in-chief in the their boss, and then you have lieutenants and so forth, and everyone. So if you have, and then you have the police officer, the ones, because you have levels of titles, right? So let's just say we fix the police itself, right? And then the lieutenant in charge of that police department is still corrupt. It still have the dysfunctional mind. How do we fix the police department? Because in order for you to fix a country, the people living within, the citizens, we also need to check ourselves. What is our characteristic? Because if I see someone walking in Makola and they drink water or they have cocoa, and after they finish, they put the plastic on the floor, and I'm not able to check the person to pick up the plastic and put it in a garbage can, how do I fix the country? If the government or whomever, the sanitation, they clean the streets and you still have people dropping plastic bags, how is that country being fixed? So a lot of times, yes, we do have good ideas, but we all need to also check ourselves. What are some of the things that we're doing to contribute to what is happening in our nation? Because a lot of us from bottom up, we all have contributed to how Ghana is looking now. Why are we not coming up with, slogan, and then also in communities from neighborhood to neighborhood? Why don't we do community services, do fundraising? Okay, for the youth from age 13 to 20, we would like to help this youth be able to find their own type of work, right? Without having to go to the government. What are some of the ways that we can do it? Can we put GoFundMe in place? And then the person that we're going to put in charge, is that person going to be honest and not dupe them and use the money for their own personal gain? Are they going to use it for the youth that we did raise this amount of money for? So it's like, we can, the government can sweep up the whole garbage and everything within the country, but if the people living within are still practicing the same thing, the same routine, the country is going to be dirty again. So it's like when we ask to fix the country, we need to be specific. Which area do we need to fix, and how can we help as citizens? because you know what, one person alone cannot do it. You know, in order for a country to develop, it has to be united. It meaning both NDC and NPP needs to work as a team, not against each other. Just because it's not my government in control, I'm going to sabotage, because that's what we do best, sabotaging, and then bringing up things that we know is going to look bad for this administrative and all that. Why are we working against each other when we should be working for and with each other? So it's a whole lot of things. And then, you know, people being drug addicts. How can we build a community place that they can get rehabilitation in there, right? How do we do it? The people we're going to put in place, the nurses, are they going to treat them as human beings, or they're going to slap them when they're not following direction and stuff like that? Are we going to be compassionate to them and have empathy? How do you change that in a person? Can the government change me, Adra Odo, to be kind to people? No, it will have to come from me. So a lot of times there is a lot of things that is not moving forward, and it's not happening within our community, our country, everywhere in general, because the people, we are the one procrastinating a lot of growth, because most of us don't want to change. Right? I was never raised like that. You know, I like the way I am, you know, having one track mind. We need to be open-minded, and also it's good to try something new. What are some of the things we can do to help our neighbors, our family members, the government, to to push us forward? What can we do to help our country develop? You know, Olympics is going on right now. I did not hear my country in there. We do have a lot of like people that are good with track and field. We have a lot of people, youth. You know, what are some of the things we can get them into it? We have rappers, we have all this stuff, but we don't invest in our people, the youth. We don't invest. Our parents doing their job, because it's not a government's job to raise my child for me. It's me, the parent, job to raise it. Well, let me pause here, and Brother Alfred can pick up from where I left.
Brother Alfred, so the reason I brought you in, I mean, I know there's more videos to show, but I want you to tackle it. I mean, I know you have a different idea of what she's saying. I mean, a different angle that you want to come in with. So go ahead, and then I'll come in, and then we'll jump in on the next video.
Yeah, so let me pick up from the last thing, which is whether we are in the Olympics or not.
Right. Yeah, we are.
We are there. We are in the Olympics. So let it be known that Ghana is in the Olympics. We may not be represented in every category of sporting activity, but we are there. Our soccer team is not there, which would have made the most noise, right? But we are there in different capacities. You know, there's a saying in the military, because I used to be a Navy person. There's a saying that you do not go to war with the soldiers you want. You go to war with the soldiers you have.
That's right.
Yeah.
You do not lead a country you want. You lead the country that elected you. When we were electing Akufo-Addo, he knew the country he was being elected to lead. In policing, let me just take it back to policing. There are 3 ways to actually police. There has to be a prevention mechanism. There has to be a control mechanism. And there has to be a detective mechanism, which is all the investigations we do to detect fraud or somebody breaking the law.
Right.
All these things need to be funded. They all need to be funded. And we do this budget, and I'm saying this to say that government is a machine that can bring change and manage how to execute that change, if they so want, by the policy decisions they make.
That's right.
In this time, remember they had this, you have to sweep your community, or there is a town council.
Yeah.
That would hold you accountable. The mere existence of a town council cause change in behavior.
Yeah, that's true.
So until you fund these things, you have to fix the country. But we are saying that we are not saying that it can fix the country should be decoupled from fixing ourselves. We don't need to fix ourselves. Government can actually even fix us.
Yeah.
Our leaders can fix us by the policy decisions they make.
Yes,
If
exactly.
dropping, look for instance, the guy who was just confirmed as the special prosecutor, he promised that he was going to make corruption a very expensive activity to engage in.
Nice.
Okay? If he were to just leave it because we are corrupt people and we should fix ourselves, then we would continue to just misbehave. He's not using government policy to tackle and change and execute the change that he wants to see in us as a leader. A leader has to lead. He has to take it from point A to point B. He has to manage the process. Some people will be falling behind. He has to put us back online.
That's right.
By his policy choices, by government's policy choices. So behavior can be actually changed or impacted from the policy choices government make. And this is where it's important that government should rethink how they manage Ghana currently. If Ghana was, I'm looking at this as if Ghana was a business that each of us own, right?
Yes.
It has to be, there are times that you have to look at what you are doing and see if it is working. Rethink it. If the culture is such that we are making it expensive for people to beat thieves, and they will not beat thieves, make it expensive by investing. I'm not saying just police show up and arrest people, but invest in the preventive control mechanisms.
That's right.
So that there's education, there is and my sister will tell us more. So fix the country can coexist with fix yourself, but government has a role. Government can cause people to fix themselves, and it requires investment.
I think, Alfred, I'm in line with you. Because I can give you a very good example. I mean, when we all came to the States, that's United States or Europe, wherever, because they have a system in place, and they push it through. They make sure that you follow the system. We all that we came from, wherever that we came from, we follow, and we are right. We are doing our best to be to understand what they are doing. Their main focus is. It looks like Ghana, we don't have that, because a bad Ghanaian. I'm not saying that everybody that comes here is good, but a bad Ghanaian who is a radical and crazy and all that, when he comes here, because we have a system in place, that person change immediately, because the system will change the person. Because America give you 3 strikes, and the 3 strikes, the last strike, that means you are gone for good. And believe me, we will not actually. Nobody wants to go for good, because they'll find you a place to go and act the fool over there. They'll let you know that you don't belong to people, you don't belong to the community, you don't belong to society. So they'll push you somewhere to go and act a fool over there. So that alone changed the citizens. Don't get me wrong. If America doesn't have a better system or a better structures, even with their better structures, see what is going on. Especially Chicago here. Last week, 54 people got shot, 30 got killed. So just imagine we don't have that better system here. It will be like a war zone. But because we have a better system, even though they are bad, they still fall in line. Like my brother said, yes, there's people who fall short, but it's the government duty to pull them along by putting better structures, and that is what the fix the country is. We are not saying go fix the police department. We need our law system to work. We need our hospitals to work. We need all this system to work. And then we need places that we can report our issue to. Now, if a police does something, who are you going to report to? You don't even know. Because if you report to the policeman, he was like a Mazar. There's nothing to do. But here, there is steps that you can take and things like that. That maybe Ghana we have those, but we have all those things in place. But are we pushing it? No. So that is what the fix the country is. People thought when we say fix the country, we are trying to against the government or something. No. Like I keep on telling people, this fix the country issue just happened at the time of Nana Akufo-Addo. It can happen. Is a movement that is going to be there forever because we need things to work. And now Ghana is not working. But like you said, yes, we all have to be part and all hands on deck to let it work. So, like our president said, don't be a spectator, be a citizen. When you see a brother throw a garbage somewhere, it's your. I think it's very right for you to tell the person, hey, pick it, or I'm going to call the authority to deal with you, and things like that. And that alone can change a lot of things. But do we have it in Ghana? No. Somebody will throw something away and you call a police officer walking away. He will not even pay attention to you. So this is what we are talking about. We have to fix the country. I mean, like I said, back in the days, there's a team that called Town Council. They'll come around and they'll make sure that they'll summon you to court if your environment is not clean. So I mean, that is what I want to put into it. But I know my sister wants to say something. So sis, go ahead.
Oh my goodness, Brother Alfred, you brought me back to my childhood. Though I remember tankers people. I remember we had to sweep the whole compound and put them in a container and bring it, to where we dump the garbage and stuff like that. But you know what? This is what's wrong. When we have things in place that are working, you have different people coming in and they change the system for anybody to do whatever, because you have people, the tankers people, some of them will come and collect money, and then it got to a point they were no longer doing their job diligently. They were taking bribes, and then when they get to your house, they will go past your house. And this is some of the things that hurt the system. When you have system in place and you have people breaking them, because you have those who will support it, because it takes a landlord and a tankers person to fix something, and then it becomes a norm. So every time they giving one household ticket for things they're not doing right, and the neighbors see the other house is as dirty as it needs to be, but they're not getting any ticket. So what's gonna happen down is that, okay, if they're not getting,
it seems like we lost our sister. So Alfred, go ahead.
Basically, what I would say to that is, when we build systems, right? When we build systems, we need check and balances in those systems.
Yeah.
If we let people misbehave and we leave them on the job, and then finally we decide that, let's take that whole system out completely, we will not become what the United States have here. It doesn't mean when they started this system to the United States, they were perfect from the beginning. They are going to be bumped along the way. But we don't just come and say, okay, because town council has been taking bribe, boom, we don't want town council anymore. We should have kept town council, nurture them, grow them as an institution. For right now, we created a whole ministry for sanitation. But the idea is not to have a community sanitation program going on. The idea is to award contracts, etc., and then have people voluntarily go and sweep their communities. The voluntary sweeping is good, but look, my kids need to survive. You haven't made the economy to where I have the option to voluntarily be there and sweeping my community. So these things are not, like I said, they're not isolated. We have to look at them in the holistic way, right? We ourselves create these institutions, and instead of, like I said, they don't have to be perfect from day one. We have to grow them.
Yeah.
And, not just come back and say, oh, they are not working because people are taking bribe. If people are taking bribe and you are aware of that, exercise your supervisory authority and fire people. You are put in charge of a system. Don't come and complain to us that, oh, it's hard.
Yes.
If it is hard, There are people in the country who can do the job.
Yes.
We are not saying you are not the only one with the brain. That's why we are diverse. We have different training experiences. There are people who can work under pressure. Maybe you can, and so you should probably be replaced. And even today, like we talk about Ajimamenu, who is our Minister of Health.
Yeah.
He's in Parliament talking about he's made a decision under pressure and he wasn't thinking through it. And we are keeping him in position. I'm not saying he's not a good. He's led so many ministries. He's done so much work in our country in higher levels, at the highest levels. But if he himself is telling you that I am making mistakes under pressure, what other evidence do you need? Anyway, so we should not necessarily just abolish systems. And I'll let my sister go on. I kind of jump on her.
Right. My sister will give us a 30 minutes rundown, and then we'll jump on the next video.
You mean 30 seconds, right? Not 30 minutes.
I mean 30 seconds.
I was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Yes. You see what the pressure can do?
Exactly.
Yes. So sis, come in and then finish your
All right, thank you. I apologize. The thing just kicked me out.
Problem.
Internet issues. And so it's like, what I was getting down at is like, why abolish something that is working perfectly well? What is missing in a lot of, the system is accountability. Lack of accountability is what's wrong, because as Brother Alfred said, if one is not doing their job diligently, they need to be sacked. And it does not need for us to like procrastinate, because a lot of times some people literally, they cannot emotionally function and they cannot make emotional intelligence decision. I mean, for someone who is in a very prominent position to say I make a decision because I was under pressure to make a decision. So it's like that is dangerous. Because what is to say the next deal that he's going to make? Is he going to sell our nation to the highest bidder?
Wow.
So we need to be able to like hold people accountable. And, people in prominent places, positions, if they take in the nation's money, we shouldn't just, get them arrested or being invited to the prison. You don't invite someone to the prison when they stealing the nation's money. You arrest the person, you get a search warrant, and you arrest the person. How are we inviting people to the police station? They make it like, he's not in trouble. He's just coming to answer some questions. No, do it right. And we need to make sure that we're being fair. It seems like our nation, the law deals with poor people. But then when it comes to rich people, because they have money and they have connection and they have, good lawyers to hire, they get away with murder. And it shouldn't have to be. We need to be fair in that country. When you do wrong, you do wrong. You have to be held accountable. If you have to do community services, why are we not using those people to clean the gutters, to clean the place? Have them do hard work. If they can get like community service 6 months, 3 months, and then they're going to be cleaning all those gutters and stuff like that. And let's see if they will do it again. So I think we need to start holding people accountable for their actions. And if someone is not mentally fit for a position, it needs to be removed.
That's right. I'm with you on that one, my sister. I'm very with you on that one. So Empress said something. He said, cleaning up and fixing our country a continuum process. It's a continuum process. We can never be done. All hands need to be on deck. And then he says over here, our country needs a system with accountability. And that is what my sister Adjoye said.
That's great one, sis.
I put this. And that is what our sister. I think that's the best system. And I think I would side with my sister Adjoye a little bit when it says which side we need to fix. Now we have realized that our country needs accountability because we are not transparent. We don't know what is going on. It's like only the 5% know what is going on. So now we should change the narrative and make it fix the country / accountability, so that we all know who we can I mean who we can talk to, what department can we, I mean you ask yourself, do Ghanaians even have a number to call if there's any issue, if if the fire department is acting foolish? Who can we call? What company? What department? And things like that can investigate the issue that is going. What about the soldier? What about the minister? Who can we talk to? That is what we are talking about. So I think, yeah, this is the fix the country thing. People have to understand. The reason why we keep on hammering this issue is that we want the whole Ghana to understand that it's not a political brainwash or trying to sabotage somebody's. No, 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 no. It's our own good. We need our country to work again. We need our institutions to work. We need a structure that we can follow through. And that's all we are asking for. So if you have a house and your kids, you are not putting structures or you are not putting rules and regulations in your house, your kids will overwork you. So our leaders, our political gurus and all these MPs and things like that, it's like they are the father and mother of Ghana. They have to set some rules for we, the children, to follow. So we'll become a better children. That's all we are asking for. That's all we are asking. So we know who we can report to. If Kofi do something, I can go through the channels and then Kofi will get punished. And that's all we are asking for. So the Fix the Country is really a movement that we all have to understand and follow. It's not to tarnish any political party or anything. It's not about NDC or about MPP. It's about Ghana first. So I think we've made ourselves a little bit clear right here. Let's jump on this next video, and I don't know if his name is Abwonya or whatever. I don't know, but this I want we all to watch this video, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll bring Alfred in to give us what my brother Kennedy, Uncle Kennedy, have for us.
America krata. Enti we American city, we say Ghana nye kuro papa. Kwatena wa America. Andi si ba ya na obetena Ghana. Andi si ba ya na obetena Ghana. Omo sara na omo do nam Dubai. Na mo enjoy. Andi si ba ya na akwa bi ajabi a obu Ghana fo fa so na ya to fie ama na atim. Okwatena America tim bo bra beto fie. Ghana for sika andi si for papa no wia ya no na omo di beto fie ma o. Enti ufi say enne no sika na unya no edie no unya bie enti wo no wo afie odo wo say a one na moyi wo didi na na do atem because they say unya dollar ni bie wa bo short na me no eye we say obey demonstration a mo ma no nye demonstration na afie odo betuma ya atem okroma we so obey demonstration mo ma no nye ni demonstration ko fine.
All right. Wow. So these are some of the people that lead us. These are some of the people that have say, that can say something, or they have the voice, and Ghanaian listen to. So my sister, you've been, I mean, you're also a doctor. I mean, it's something in a way it's rubbing off of you a little bit. So tell me what you think about this very video. I mean, I saw it and I said, look, we have to talk about it on MaKaaMaKa show.
What a wow. Hey.
What a wow.
When it comes to emotional intelligence, I think the majority of our people lack of that. Especially when you have a bigger platform, right? People should use their platform to make movement or to support things, even if someone brings an idea and you feel that idea is not productive. Okay, we can work on it to figure out how best we can go about it. But, you know, sometimes when we have hashtags, and Brother Black, you said something earlier that, you know, the hashtag Fix the Country is not about political issue or which government is on, but our people naturally will connect that with whoever is like in position now, right? Because they feel that is trying to sabotage and stuff like that. But we have to look at it in different angle, right? And it's really sad. It's petty and it's pathetic when you have some prominent people or people in position, use their platform to belittle certain people. All right, do we know where Effiodor is coming from?
That's right.
Why did she even started this movement?
That's right.
There's something that is behind it. Are we asking the right questions? Getting to know what are some of the things that she needs fixed in the country. You see, we can't be general. We have to be more specific. Some of the things that is not moving forward that we feel is holding most Ghanaian back, especially the youth are the one who is like being majorly affected with a lot of things that has not been put in place for them.
Right.
We have a lot of youth who are done with school, but they still don't have a job. How can we create jobs? Can the government create jobs through consumers, right? Because we do have people who has businesses and stuff. Can they be hired without, if it's a female, without the manager asking to sleep with them first? Because that's, violating a person's right. Whereas to give them a job, you asking for something so personal. And, I feel like some Ghanaian women have been put in a place like being treated like an object, right? And then they have to give their body to get something. That is so disrespectful. And it shouldn't be happening. That person needs to be sacked. If it's not their personal, if it's not their own business and they working for the government or so, they need to be removed from position, because you cannot you cannot force someone to have sexual interaction with you because you're in a position to give them a job. And there has been some women who does go to that mouse and they're still not given the job, because the person can choose to give you the job or not. So at the end of the day, who ends up losing out of that? There is something called, and I think on social platform is coming out a lot, mental health. And a lot of times, I said this earlier, when it comes to psychological and emotional abuse, it's invincible. So a lot of people don't realize the damage that they're doing to certain people. When there are a lot of pressure coming on you, somebody can end up in the psychiatric ward. Somebody can commit suicide based on the personal attacks, okay, the insult. Why do we result into all kinds of insult and personal attack? Deal with the problem that is at hand. Let's talk about what the problem is, and we need to stop attacking people personally. All right? It's like if insult can fix our country, we in 2021, we still where we are. So why do we keep insulting people? Why do we keep disrespecting? Why do we keep attacking people personally? What is your problem? What are you unhappy with? Use your words productively, because I find that people who are more inclined to insult, people who are more inclined to attack, they don't have nothing better to say. Because you go to different platforms, brother Alfred, I watched you yesterday. I didn't say nothing on your platform, but I watched you from beginning to an end. The questions that you asked, and your guests, some of them, sometimes it could be just, getting too emotional, like where the conversation went and stuff like that. And I was like, people don't realize we all want the same thing, but we coming from different angle. But because we lack of understanding and we lack of taking time to explain things, how we're going about it, because you can have two people wanted to get to the end of the finish line. One would take a shortcut, the other would take a long way. The shortcut person should not tell the one taking the long way, saying that you are stupid. You shouldn't be taking that long way because this is a shortcut. No, him taking a long way means that his thinking process, and in between the way to get to the finish line, they have some strategic planning that they need to get to before they get to the finish line. Some problems to deal with it, you can't start from the middle. You have to start from scratch. So at times people would think that you going backwards. No, you're not going backwards, because if he's taking over a job and you don't understand where it started, you will not be able to finish it the way it needs to be finished. So it can come down at any time. So you have to make sure that the structure you're building is strong enough for it to not, for somebody else to not come and say, oh, we can get rid of this easily. No, when we build a house, we build a foundation. The foundation needs to be strong. So we need to get away with the insult. If we dislike something, it's okay for you to express yourself, but we need to learn to control our emotions, because when you insult someone and you talk without sense, you might be saying some good things and you making good point, but because you being disrespectful and insulting, for me, Adrodo, I will look at that as nonsense and foolishness. I will even leave. But for most people, that's their norm. So they will listen and comment. If someone is insulting, somebody needs to be bold enough. Okay. So the bottom line is, what are you trying to establish? What are you asking? Because your insults, I'm not understanding that. I need you to use your words to speak, right? You want to speak chi, but be wise. We need to stop.
But what you're saying is saying things like the incompetent government of the president started everything like that.
So what is the incompetency, right?
Yeah.
Put it out there.
It's NDC and MPP, and that's how they talk. My program is.
But that's the game.
Come in.
But that's the game. You see, brother Alfred, I can come and say, you know what?
Yeah.
What you're saying, I'm just going to strike everything down. But I can't do that. As an honest person, all the points you make makes perfect sense. So if I have an idea, how best can you and I work together to get to where we need to get to? So we need to stop using, messing with our citizens' mind and then playing political games, NDC against NPP. We all Ghanaians. So why is one attacking the other person? And then you have people who are enabling them. Enablement needs to stop. Double standards need to stop. We need to stop being hypocrites. So it's like there's a lot of and we go back to the accountability again. When we have prominent people insulting and calling people names, we need to call them out. You shouldn't do that, because you need to be setting an example. How can you set an example? Because some of these people, when they speak, they have followers and they have people that look up to them. Stop messing with them, because you living all good, you eating sardines, and some of them are not.
So we need to fix Ghana agenda. That's what you're saying.
That's right.
We'll fix it.
All right.
Thanks for that feedback. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll let you come in I'll let you come in and then just butter it a little bit. The short video that we just watched. I mean, this is the guy that, to be honest, your Kosova's former. He's a political. I mean, I don't know what to call him. I mean, for me, I don't respect him, for real. I don't, because people like that, they speak out of what, I don't know what to say. They speak out of I don't want to say something, but Alfred, you being a political guy, you've listened to what he said, and you've seen the impact that Efia Odo, who actually, I believe that she's the one that started the fix the country thing or whatever, or somebody came up with it and then she just hold it through and push it through, and right today where we are today. Next week, I think next month there will be a huge demonstration, fix the country demonstration that is going on. There's the likes of Avram Ben Moshe, Captain Smart, all the freedom fighters and things like that. The people are going. It's going to be huge. Tell me a little bit about this video that we watched. What this man? What's the name? What's his name? Abwanya.
Abronya, yeah. Abronya. I think it's MPP, one of the I think chairman of MPP in Bruno or one of the regions. So he's high up there.
He's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody like that, not vomiting any sense and just ranting on something that that's, I mean, calling the Papa Noon and the new call or Dubai and not Yusunu. I mean, all this is it right?
Black. Let me start off by saying that my sister pointed to something which is a problem. And what is that? This is what our political parties have turned into. If you can make this type of noises, you are promoted. It even gets to programs like mine where I have to tolerate this. Matter of fact, after yesterday's program, we have a platform in the background. So we were talking. Usually we can't even stay within our time because they keep talking. And I hate to interrupt them because it makes the show, like Black, you were even talking about in the background. I don't want to be the one who is just interrupting,
Right.
you know?
Right.
It will make the show a little chaotic. So sometimes I let them just speak, all right? You have the audience who are watching it. But I'm taking this feedback very much to my own heart. And I think I need to I need to enforce some of let's just talk about the issues and the solutions and make recommendations and stay away from a culture that has grown in both parties, which I think is irresponsible and needed to be dealt with. And we can be, one of the places that it is dealt with. So thank you for that advice. I'm taking it to heart. Now, this guy and the comments he made, some of which I think should even be sued if I was this girl, because this is defamation.
Yes.
This is defamation. It used to be a criminal law. There used to be a criminal component to that. If you say things against me and made accusations that you cannot validate, and this guy is, this is what people should know. Once the microphone is on and the cameras are on, it doesn't matter if it's on Facebook or if it is just something you're recording and sharing. Once you know those two things are on and you are saying this type of things or you are saying anything, you should be held responsible for the things you're saying. So this guy is on a platform as big as that, and he's one of the executives within the MPP, and of course he's doing it, to neutralize. He's saying, and even listen to the things he's saying. He's saying she just came down to Ghana in the NDC time. What is wrong with somebody coming to Ghana? Even if I come to Ghana tomorrow, and even if I'm not a Ghanaian citizen, but I am called Efia Odo, right? My mother or grandmother or somebody lineage or whatever is from Ghana, I should be able to express I'm a human being. I have certain rights that are to be respected. Okay? So that is not anything that any sensible person, anybody listening to should even accept. It's not acceptable for him to even make like his I don't know, demeaning the fact that she comes to stay in Ghana. You don't know her source of income. You're accusing her of technically selling herself or somehow being paid for houses being bought for him. If I was a Fiedua, my lawyers will be talking to there will be a lawsuit in the work on this particular thing. He should be
Alfred,
made to
people
pay.
want to watch. Before I let you finish your statement, people want to watch the video again. So I'll drop it again and then I'll let you finish your
America krata. Into your American city, what's a Ghana and your crew, papa? What now, America? And this is by Anna Betna Ghana. And this is by Anna Betna Ghana. Almost Sarana, Woman Dunam Dubai. Namo and Dry. And this is by Anna or Aquabi, a Jabia. O boom Ghana for Faso, and they are Tofia Mount, and at him. O what now, America Timbo Brabbe Tofi. Ghana for Sika, and this is for Papa Numuria, and Omudibi Tofia Mount. And Tufi say, and then Sika na Unyano, Ediano, Unyabio, and to war no war Fiordo. Who you say our Nenamui? O did he Nanado attempt because they say Unya dollar Nibio. What was short? I mean, a year away, you say, obey a demonstration. Mama, and yet, demonstration, I feel double to my Atemo Chroma. Wait, so obey a demonstration. Mama, and yet, the demonstration are quite fine.
All right. Alfred, can you?
Yeah, let me pick up from the last thing he said over there.
Right.
Or say obey demonstration. Demonstration there.
Yes.
They've been trying to do demonstrations since when?
About 2 months ago. Yeah.
I mean, the government has been chasing the demonstrators from court to court, trying to put injunction on them so that they cannot demonstrate. Almost say, if they want her to do demonstration, tell your president, Mumaninya demonstration, no? Mumaninya, you said so this guy, it's unfortunate that these are the type of people we have leading
as our leaders.
Leading thoughts. Yeah, they are there. They have the bigger microphone. What they speak goes beyond their noses, and everybody hears of them. And some people take these things as the truth.
Yes.
And so again, of course, the media itself needed to be reigning. Like the feedback I'm getting today, I think that feedback. I think the political parties need to stand. These are the people who come to us and want us to vote for them, and we as citizens again should be wanting them to fix themselves. And it should be both political parties. So again, fix the country goes beyond just the parts that the government can do. Even the one we are speaking about, right? Government has hands in it.
Yeah.
They've this is a culture they have built. This is how they want. They don't want people talking about interest rates. They don't want people talking about where our petroleum resources are going. This government put the party chairman, the MPP party chairman, as the board of GMPC. He can do the job. He's a lawyer, but when you put a party chairperson, somebody who's worried about how the party will win the next election, where they get money for, and all that, you are politicizing the institutions.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because in 2017, they made a mistake on their financial statement. They cooked the book. And I did a show about that. I'm going to bring that up again. 2017, they cooked the book. If you look at the disclosures they made for Ghana Gas, right? The assets disclosures they made for Ghana Gas, they cook the book. In accounting, those disclosures couldn't be made. And I've been tracing this thing. So this Ghana Gas thing we are talking about, this is the one they're about to put another political appointee. Again, this guy, we'll talk about, he's been successful in business, he perhaps has the acumen, and maybe he can do the job, but for publicity purposes and what it means to the ordinary Ghanaian who's rising up. What does that appointment mean to him? What signals are you sending out there? And leaders have to send signals of behavior they expect. They say if you go to a palace, look at how everybody is dancing, it reflects how the king is dancing.
All right. I mean, today's show has been amazing, man. We had this, I don't even know what to say, but I will take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring Alfred in. I think Alfred have some 2 solid stories to tell us, and then we will jump on it, and then we'll dive, show our views and things like that. I've seen a lot of comments coming in. I see Jordan, I see SK, I see St. John. My beautiful Empress is on the lock. Yes, a lot of views. You can share the page. Keep on sharing the page. This is Trend Africa TV, and this is MaKaaMaKa Freestyle Sunday. We come in here, we talk about issues that went on and things like that. And guess what? Next month, the Fix Your Country demonstration is coming. It's very peaceful. We just putting our voice out there to let the government know that Ghana need to work again. That's all we need. Ghana need to work again. So yeah, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring Alfred, the political guru, to give us what is in there.
Cannot wait.
Chocolate is the first luxury. It has so many things wrapped up in it. Deliciousness at the moment, childhood memories, and that grind-inducing feeling of getting a reward. Now think about it. Chocolate presented as things you love the most. Yes, and edible too. Try our chocolate shoes and your love for chocolate will go a notch higher. You will never see chocolate
Just as a bar, your imagination will go wild. Go ahead, take your bite. Kabi.
This is the Ghana Agenda, and my name is Alfred Amuzu. On the Ghana Agenda, we talk about political and financial related topics occurring in Ghana. We try to break down some of the most complicated issues, and we make sure that all our listeners leave the show with something at the end of it. Again, tell your friend to tell a friend. Alfred Amuzu is on every Sunday on the Ghana Agenda.
Welcome to sankofaonline.com. Your number one diaspora news portal has joined with GhanaWeb.com to bring to you the latest news around the world, especially Ghana. Visit our website at www.sankofaonline.com, or you can download our app from the Google Play Store or App Store. Sankofa Online, serving the Ghanaian Chicago community.
Looking for that special gift for that special someone? Looking to bring life into your personal or family portraits? ArtBank is your creative bank of art solutions. We provide a wide range of digital photo editing and paintings that will transform your images into exquisite yet affordable pieces of art. We bring old photos back to life. Your photos can be framed or made into canvas prints of any size of your choice. Our ultimate goal is to bring into your homes and offices amazing masterpieces through eye-catching portrait paintings for occasions such as birthdays, graduations, award ceremonies, funerals, and many more. You can locate us on Instagram at @bankgh. You can also contact us on 312-609-9907 or @bankgh@gmail.com for all your inquiries. ArtBank, reviving your images.
My name is Eunice Cromwell, and I'm the business manager of the Ghana National Council. Make sure you always watch Trend Africa TV.
Welcome to Africa.
All right, so we're back again. So we're gonna bring our political guru in there to tell us what is going on in the political space. Alfred Amuzu is our guy today. Alfred, are you ready? I'm coming. Let me bring my brother in. The master of politics. All right, my brother. I see you.
The way Black gives me titles on the show. And the titles are coming when I'm not collecting any of the tax monies to use to run a better country for all of us. But Black, thanks again for today, and I wanted to especially thank my sister for joining the show, and I'm already energized. It's like I'm enjoying the conversation, and I'm sure the viewers are enjoying it too. Me, this is what I look forward to every day, you know. So after the show, we can continue the conversation. I'm sure you are on our platform, right? So thanks for joining. Two things. Matter of fact, I would even sleep in the third one if I have time. But the first one is that Kennedy Japan, who we are all familiar with, is a member of parliament. Has been in charge of communication committee. Went to well, now currently he's in this 8th parliament, which is just starting, I think 7th December, 6th January or so. He became the chair of defense and interior. And the reason this is very key is defense, meaning that our Ministry of Defense, which is everything that has to do with soldiers, sailors, etc. Pretty much the defense of Ghana, he chairs the committee that provides oversight. When I say oversight, it means that they check on how that ministry is performing, whether they are executing their mandates according to the constitution and the objectives of the president, etc., etc. So let's look at it this way: the Ministry of Defense sits under the presidency. We call those executive ministries or executive branches of government. It sits under the presidency. The legislature, which provides oversight to the executives, has to put a committee together, and he sits as a chair of that committee, not only in defense but also interior, which means he is also in charge of the activities of the police, the CID, which is a part of the police, and other law enforcement agencies within the country. They all have to report to him. Again, I'm also reminded that he was a former chairperson of the local government committee. So, yes, he has experience. He's been around. He's been in charge of committees after committees, and now he is placed in charge of defense. Now, we just found out on 21st July again that Kennedy Agyapong has been elevated to also chair the board of Ghana Gas. When we found petroleum, we also found, gas, and we, have a plan to use this gas to power our own country. In other words, provide electricity, or to use it in turbines that can generate electricity to power our country, which will support the economy. One key one that comes to mind to me is that Valco, which is the aluminum melting company that we have in Ghana, has 5 different smelters that they can use. And the more of smelting they do, the more revenue they bring to the country. And currently, they are only using 2 because we do not have the electricity or the power to power that plant to give us more revenue so that we can increase our GDP and provide infrastructure for our country. We are not able to do that because we don't have the power, and perhaps there are some other administrative things that needed to be clear. But that is something that we could be doing right now to be making more money. Gas is needed for that. Gas plays a very important role in how our economy actually develops. All the developmental agendas that we have, our gas findings and its use, and the monies it will generate for the country is going to play a very significant role in our development going forward. Currently, companies like Volta River Authority would take gas because they have a couple of plants. Volta River Authority was that first organization, a government agency that was formed to manage our power generation. So they are not only concerned about the Volta, the dam, but they have all that thermal plants, etc. Generation, they have a big hand in generation. And part of some of their plants needed gas. They will take the gas, they'll put it in the generators, and they don't generate enough revenue because they lose so much of the gas, even in transmission. There's so much loss, there's so much inefficiencies in the system that they don't even make profit to pay Ghana Gas. So that is a big issue. When Kennedy Agyapong was being made a chair, the Minister of Energy had told him that one problem that is bedeviling that sector is the debts each of the other institutions within the energy sector owe to each other, including the ones they owe to Ghana Gas, and that problem should be dealt with. So Kennedy Agyapong is going to be our strategist, wizard, not necessarily a wizard in derogatory term, but that one person with the abilities, the acumen to not only provide oversight over defense, but also chair the board for our gas resources and how they are used to develop our country. This is happening when Kennedy Agyapong is accusing Joy FM of using drug money to start their station, because he is concluded that Joy had reported Kaka's death wrongly, quoting that he was killed by a mob, which was not true, because according to the eyewitnesses accounts we are hearing, Kaka perhaps was killed by his brother. We are still waiting for the committee's report to come for us to know what their findings are. But he's relying on that to say Joy FM alone, just like it happened in Rwanda, where one broadcaster stated that people should be killed and so many people were killed, that Joy can cause that. And based on that, he's laying accusations, his utterances in our community. He called a journalist, an investigative journalist who was up in Anas, Ahmed Swale, out and showed his picture on his broadcast and said people should beat him up when they see him. And people are relating that to, because he did that and subsequently the guy dying, those two things makes him a very dangerous person to lead defense and interior. And so I would like to see what the two of you think about this. Should Kennedy Japan actually be elevated? Now, I'm asking this question because I feel like even for publicity purposes, is he the only one who can do this job? And it looks like there's so much power being concentrated in this guy's hand. He should also realize that he's in a very high position. If he's not able to do so, I think his appointer should be able to help him kind of, tone down. But should he be elevated before he's able to tone down? Shouldn't this person be toning down? What signal are we sending, elevating the likes of Canada, Japan in our society? I'd like to see what my sister thinks about that, Ajwa.
Yes.
And then we can talk about some of the fine things going on because we have some fine gentlemen who will be leading our institutions. I'm talking about the special prosecutor and the IGP. What do you think about elevating Canada, Japan in our country and putting him in position to manage key institutions that are very critical to our development?
Thank you, Brother Fred. That's it. Something, like when it comes to politics, I don't pay attention to politics. Because I just feel that any opposition, both parties, they play games here and there. But sometimes you also have to look for characteristics. When it comes to business-wise and having strategic plan in place, holding people accountable within one's business, and calling up on people who are not doing their job diligently, and also being able to have the balls. My apologies. Excuse
Hey,
my.
MaKaaMaKa, you can say everything. Don't worry.
That's right. MaKaaMaKa. To literally sack people from position who are not doing their job. I can see Canada Japan being able to do that because he is a no-nonsense person, right? If you're not doing your job right. I will put some type of caution in certain area is that, we are human beings and we do make mistakes. There are some mistakes now. When one makes now is because they lacking of education in there. So he shouldn't be quick to eliminate or to sack somebody because they did not do their job diligently. Find the problem itself why this came about. And if it's solvable, then we have to educate, provide information and resources for the person to not repeat the same offense again. But if it happens again, then that means the person is not qualified for it. When we come to his emotional aspect part, he is really poor with that. Because there's in US, when there's an investigation going on, a radio station, the media, there are some information that needs to be withheld from every prominent person, the sergeant, the police, the person in charge of the case, the detective. They have all the necessary information, but certain information is not put out in public because they don't want any bias, right? And they don't want people becoming vigilantes. Because when you provide certain information out to public, you have some who is going to be for and some who is going to be for against. So do not use our people to play against each other. Do not cause someone to lose their life because of a word that you said, because words are very powerful. It can make or break somebody. So when it comes in terms of that, he needs to be able to work on himself and be able to communicate certain information and be more educated person. He is somebody who has established a lot, right? And even if he's not put in this position, he's well off, right? There's no need for him to come and take the nation's money because he has I see him. I don't listen to him a lot, but my husband listens to a lot of stuff that's going on social media. So every now and then, one will go through my ears, and I will be like, I'll come. My husband and I will have a discussion. I'll be like, well, he made good points here, but when he said X, Y, and Z, that was inappropriate. It's unacceptable, and it shouldn't be happening as a person in position, right?
Right.
So, a lot of times when some of our people are emotionally kind of involved with a situation or emotional about certain things that happen, they speak like, they have diarrhea mouth. When you have diarrhea, you go to, you go to the restroom, not everything comes out, nothing stops until you just drop everything, right? However, like, he needs to be control of his emotions and communicate what it is that he needs to communicate. You cannot belittle someone from causing violence when your words alone is also doing the same thing. Because if you, and brother, the video that Black play in the beginning, right? You point out that they didn't beat him, but the things that they did, it caused the same damage. That's what it is. Things that we say and we put out in public. You may have vigilantes out there. That's all they need for someone that they believe in, for someone that they support, to say something like that. Because when we communicate things on social media, who are we saying it to? Are we saying it to ourselves? We know that there are people, no matter what we do, they're going to follow through that. So don't use your position to say things that will create any type of violence or it will cause somebody's life. We need to remove ourselves from there. But I think in terms of like being able to manage the department, to manage certain people and holding people accountable, I can see Canada Japan being able to do that. But when it comes to the emotional aspect, and also he needs to be more disciplined in information that he puts out, because now his position has elevated. It's not as, he can't use his radio station to come, because you can be a radio presenter and be in a bigger position at the same time. You have to allow your workers to work for you at your radio station. And for you, if you come in as a guest, this is some of the things that since you became the person in charge of this position, this is your agenda. This is what you need from the community, the country, for everybody to all hands in deck. How can this work productively for us to move the country forward and develop, and not blaming games, giving excuses, giving reasons, because those kind of stuff, comparison, unnecessary competition, because all that is like, someone who lack of information. Because when people like Brother Black and Brother Alfred, have you been with someone when you're talking to them and you say something important to them, but then they take it as offensive, and instead of responding to what you said, they will insult you instead, because you have hit a chord, right? They don't what you said is really rubbing bad, because they are the same type of person. So people who insult, I see them being the same way, because they don't have anything better to say.
Wow.
Yeah, so Black, before you come in, let me ask, because I think the core question I was asking is, there's a signaling effect that comes from the presidency or the highest, the appointer, when you appoint somebody with such a poor emotional intelligence. Because leadership in the capacity we are putting him in is not just about him doing the job well in the office, but it's portraying himself as a leader on a ground level. And I think I can say that he's not the only person with the skill sets that we are crediting him with the success in business. And I think there's so many other people in our country to do this. He's already has some responsibility over our whole supervising over our whole defense and interior. That is a lot of responsibility. For somebody who goes around and stays, like you said, on radio and trying to do that which is now part of the very key and important responsibilities that he has, adding some more to it, and the signal this sends out.
All
Shouldn't
right.
the president be just picking somebody else?
Wow. Let me start by saying that our president have failed Ghanaians again. You know, and I've said this before, years back. The very first day my president, Nana Akufo-Addo, went under Reverend what's his name? The MPP guy. Call himself Nation Prophet.
Also Bempa.
When our president went under Owusu Bempe's feet for him to bless him with an oil and things like that, I said on my show that our president just fell right there. And he has shown the same, something that I talked about it like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. He has shown it today by appointing Honorable Ken. Yes, Brother Ken is a very good man. He has a good heart for Ghana, but he doesn't have the technical abilities to do that. He has a good mind, but he needs people to work for him, not him to do it. One, I'll say this. Isn't it the same Kennedy who once upon a time sit on TV and insult the president? Is it not the same our president who said we should not pay attention to Kennedy because his words you know, we should not account on his word? Is it not the same president? Is it not the same president? Is it not the same Kennedy who sit on his TV and insult every woman? Is it not the same Kennedy who actually pushing vigilante groups to go and fight, and he will pay if anything happen? Is it not the same Kennedy? I mean, listen, Brother Kennedy have lost his credibility, so that position is totally gonna fail. Our president have failed us again by choosing this man to lead that office. This man have shown several times how violent he is. This man, no, let me go back. Is it not the same Kennedy who has power and uses his power to insult everybody, including our ex-president and the team, that he will burn them alive? So giving him this, I mean, Ghana is a joke. I have no problem with Kennedy. Like I said, I'm not an NDC guy. I'm not an MPP guy. I'm being a Ghanaian. And I'm saying, that's my opinion, I'm saying it's a wrong choice for MPP party to choose Kennedy to take that office. Is it not Kennedy who actually my sister said he's the guy that pinpoints a lot of issues and fight for Ghana and do this and do this? But once upon a time, he was able to find out Reverend Kubi, or whatever the name is doing fraudulent things and all that, whatever it is. And finally, he said there is a bigger guy who came to him and apologized and then let things go. So that bigger guy is bigger than the system, Ghana system. So how can we give a person like that a mandate to rule or to oversee a system? I mean, it's not adding up. It's not making no sense. Is it not the same Kennedy that Kubi did this, and we didn't see the end of it? Is it not the same Kennedy that came out and say announced and this and that? Our former president and brother have stolen a whole lot of money, and he will take him to court and things like that. He's a freedom fighter, and then he's fight for Ghana and all this, and then we didn't see anything. So for me, being a youth, being a Ghanaian youth, I am saying this man cannot take this office. He's a failure. Yes, he's a business-minded guy and things like that. I give it up to him. But when it comes to running a department, a bigger office like that, this man have no clue. So for me, I think Kennedy holding that department is a failure to Ghana. And that's it. He has failed Ghanaians from day one, and he has failed Ghanaians now. Isn't that this Kennedy that said fix the country is against the president because he doesn't understand what the fix the country means? I mean, this is a problem. When you own an office and you don't understand certain things that Ghanaians are pushing through, and you don't sit back and learn, and you just come on your TV and just insult every Ghanaian that Ghanaians are lazy. I mean, we have a problem choosing this guy to run this office. I mean, Kennedy, for me, he has lost his credibility. He's not the true leader. I mean, he's opportunist, and I believe that he uses whatever chance that he had to, to enrich his pocket, and that is what Kennedy is. Yes, he's a business guru. Yes, he's know how to make money and things like that. But a high office like that, I would say definitely no. Your mic is off. Your mic is off again. All right, so let's bring my sister in. I think my sister have something to say.
Oh, okay. Brother Alfred, you psyching me or what? What's going on with your mic? We can't hear you.
Alfred, can you go in and come out? Let me get my sister's view on that. Okay. Yes, I think you made a very good point. I mean, when it comes to Kennedy, Kennedy holding, he's a business guy. He have a business mind. He do that. Yeah, I believe that he's a business guru. He have a business mind. He speak business. He talk business. He eats business and things like that. But with all these things that I mentioned, do you still think he's qualified to run that office?
All right. From my standpoint, I would say, like, in every situation, right, you need to be able to give people opportunities to see what their capacity is. Yes, this position might seem bigger for him, might be too big, but like the fact that he makes himself known, the fact that he has shown to have a heart for his country. I mean, like, how I came to really show some interest in hearing some of the things that Kennedy Ejapon has been saying is when there was some of our young women in the place that they get stuck at, they were being mistreated. And
the Arab land. I mean,
the Arab land, yeah. Right. When he was able to put his own personal money to get those young women back in our soil. I mean, it takes a bigger person to do that. How many prominent people in position were able to do something like that? I can see him using this position, be able to elevate a lot of the youth, and I'm saying this because of some of the little things that he has done that, kind of like his outbursts outshine all those things, right? because we're talking about we need somebody in position who thinks about the youth. We need somebody in positions who has the heart to be able to like think about things in a different aspect. I truly believe, and I'm being neutral, being given the position, he should be able to like, do a lot of good with this position. However, if he seems incompetent and he needs to be put in how you may say it, when you first start a job, right? Over here they give you 90 days
probation.
Yes.
Probation.
Yes. To be in probation to see how he's able to handle things emotionally, because we already outlined that when it comes to the emotional aspect, he gets so passionate. It's like he has to put everything out there, but there are ways and means with some coping skills to learn how to control your emotional outbursts by learning effective communication, being respectful to everyone from bottom up, being able to be loyal to your position, at the same time not look at things in a political views, and also be supportive to whomever, and being the one person who is going to connect both aisles. You don't make decisions and create laws with only your political parties, because you have to know that we all are for Ghana. How many leaders are for Ghana and how many leaders are for their own pocket? So sometimes, when you put people in certain position, that could automatically change them in a certain way for better. At times, it will change them in a certain way for worse, depending how they let it get to their head. Because when you put someone in position and it gets to their head, they definitely will not be the person for that position, because they're going to start abusing the power. When you put people in position and they start abusing the power and speaking in terms of like, when I say this, that's what goes. We don't want such person.
Right.
You do not rule all of us. What you say, you are not Ghana. We are all Ghanaians, right? And we are all for that country. So when you are put in the position, make sure that you do it well. You represent it well. And you make sure you hold people accountable. And even if someone higher than you come to you and ask you to cook a book, or ask you to do things that it's not the right thing, you put them in their place. We're not asking you to come and broadcast to the world, but you do your diligent job to make sure that we seeing development, because we're not looking to slide backwards. We're looking to move forward. How best can we do that? Can he be able to like hold everybody accountable in position? Because he's going to have people underneath him who is going to have a position to do their job. So he's not the only one going to do everything. He's going to supervise to make sure that everyone underneath him in position are doing their job diligently as it needs to be, for him to direct them. If you're not doing right, okay, you need training here. This one needs training. This one needs to be removed. This one needs to be demoted. But he shouldn't do it with personal views. He needs to do it accordingly. So I just feel that Ghanaians, some of us have the means to like shut someone down because of the person past history. We do know that people make mistakes, and there are some things that Honorable Kennedy has said and has done that is not favorable. However, okay, it's the position that he's been assigned to, and who are the other prominent people who we feel can fill this position well. So let's start having those people put together. So if he fails, then we know the next person. We're not going to be changing position every second, but we need to make sure that everything we put in place is strategic and is planned well. we can't just throw people in the wolf, right? And then the people going to work underneath him, they shouldn't play political games that because he's an NPP person, we're going to have him fail, because that's what we do best. Pull down syndrome and sabotaging.
All right. So let me jump in quickly and say something about my sister's presentation, especially I see a little bit of accepting Kennedy for who he is.
That's right.
And wishing for better, wishing for best. But
Alfred,
interestingly,
in this position, sorry that I cut you through, but with this position, we don't want just anybody.
The thing.
Yeah, so go ahead.
The thing too is about the particular person we are putting there, right?
Yes.
And the particular time we are putting him there.
Yeah.
Kennedy Japan is currently supposed to be in front, or is currently being hauled to the Privileges Committee because he went and said Erasmus Donko should also be beaten. That if he was the president, he will have him beaten mercilessly. As a result of that, a colleague parliamentarian has reported him to the Speaker of Parliament, and the Speaker of Parliament recommended him to the Privileges Committee to come and answer questions and be investigated. This is ongoing as the president gives him extra responsibilities over our gas. So what type of signal is the president sending?
That's right.
This is like rewarding a bad behavior.
Yep.
At least you can wait for all that cloud to settle.
Yeah.
You've been in government since January. You haven't appointed a chair yet. I'm sure the old chair just didn't leave it alone. There's still continuity. What is the urgency of now when he's being hauled before the Privileges Committee? It is like as though he's the best who can do all that. I want to give him. Here's the thing: the things we are saying Kennedy Japan does are of national consequences.
Yeah.
This is somebody who revealed the identity of a journalist, an investigative journalist, and directed that he is beaten mercilessly, and somebody may have acted on that, and this person died. This is of national consequence. You and I here. Kennedy can disagree with perhaps our submission here today, and maybe direct a mob towards us to be attacked. We can have that person be elevated.
Yes.
We can have that person be given more. Like we said, he's not going to do the job himself. He's a supervisor. This is just an ego thing. You can't be stroking that person's ego with more responsibilities. As good as he is, he can save society in so many different other ways. He's a businessman. He can continue to do his business and be successful. Nobody is restricting him from that. But when you are given huge responsibility, you have huge duties. You have to make sure you are a leader who doesn't divide us, who doesn't put us in a situation where we are likely to be murdered. We can be rewarding those people with management position of our institutions. Yes. That's my feeling. I know it's a little emotional because I attach my emotional passion to this case.
I think Kennedy doesn't deserve that office for real. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, it doesn't.
And I'm not saying that because of his inabilities to do the work. Yeah. I'm sure he can do that work and more. But it sends the bad signal.
The background that he has, that office, he doesn't belong to that office. I mean, we've seen vigilante group went to Kumasi court office or whatever to bring
to free their people to disrupt courts and free.
And then you ask yourself, who incite these people? It's Ken, because he said it on his Net2 TV that he will pay for them to, if anything happened, he will start and pay for them to be released. So this is a guy that we are trying to give another office, a higher office. No, I mean, our president told me that I should not be spectator. I should be citizen. And now I'm speaking like a citizen. This man is radical. This man is dangerous. This man does not have the heart. He does not have Ghana at heart. For real. Because if this man really have Ghana at heart, this man will show us something. Of all this evidence that he carries along or carries around and things like that. Have we ever seen the end of that evidence? No. He just talk and talk and talk and do less. We don't see anything. I am once Kennedy #1 fan. I was even thinking that when I first started knowing about Kennedy, I was even thinking that he can be the president because he speaks like that. He speaks like somebody can take action. Yes, he takes some actions, and then when we get to the deep waters, he says, "Oh, I'll let it go because some older human being have come and talked to me, so I've let things go." So are you telling me that is where I lost interest in Kennedy? When Kennedy told Ghanaians that on his TV that an older man or a prominent man have come to him and told him to let go of Owusu, what's the name? Ukubi Kubi and all these people's issue. And then so I asked myself, is that older man or that prominent man bigger than Ghana system? And we are giving this guy a chance to control a bigger office? No, that man is a failure. And our president, if the president know about it and choose Kennedy to become the head of that department, our president have failed us again.
Yeah. So Black, just quick interjection before I know my sister is eager to come. We are not saying that Kennedy doesn't have. I mean, I wouldn't associate with Kennedy doesn't have Ghana at heart. I think he's like our sister pointed out. He's been doing some things like with his own money. He has the money. He has the means.
We have
He's shown us
everybody
enough.
been doing the same thing. We have
He's built
Despite. We have a lot of people doing the same thing. That is
right,
what
but he's even building is he a cardiology center at 37 or so? I mean, that I give to him. I mean, go to his constituency. I'm sure he's done well for them. They are happy to return him over and over and over. So, but my issue is, he's manipulative. He uses his media to manipulate the narrative to incite, and that is dangerous. So putting that person as an oversight, the person who provides oversight over defense and interior, that is the whole national security right there, defense and interior, in his hand. And I fought Parliament for that because Parliament did that. Parliament put him in that position. But I'm saying on top of that, maybe perhaps he has the capability to manage that and gas in addition to that, and maybe even more, including his personal businesses and all that. Maybe he has the capacity to do that. But I see this as concentrating too much power in somebody who is very loose and very manipulative's hands, giving that much power to Kennedy at this point, and at the same time that he was so manipulative and being hauled to the Privileges Committee, for the president to come out at that very moment and, kind of give this guy some more responsibilities at a key sector like gas, I think it sends the wrong signals. The president is placing his confidence in a guy who's very manipulative. And that's where my problem is. So I'll let my sister go ahead and we wrap up.
So we have our Alfred. Let's say we have our next 30 minutes. I think you have another
30
about
seconds.
our police commander or something like that. Do you have
Yeah,
that?
I don't know if my sister would like to say anything else on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I think we basically covered.
Done on that.
We spoke extensively on that. So I will end on your notes. I think Ghanaians have to determine what they need and what they want, because I feel like a lot of times we focus on our wants than our needs, which is something that a lot of people don't realize, because what we need can be fulfilled some other time. What we want can be fulfilled some other time, but what we need is eternity. So even in our relationship is the same way. So we need to be clear on the things that we need in life and what we need in our country. We need prominent leaders who can be trusted, prominent leaders, someone who can lead in so many different ways, someone who can hold people accountable, someone who can call people out when they're not doing their job the way they need to do it. And, you know, making sure that, because there seems to be a lot of like favoritism. All right. And when it comes to favoritism, one cannot make the right judgment. So people make decisions based on their experience and what they used to know, and they don't want to go outside of that. There is a box. And everyone here on the panel and the viewers, we know that a box contains 4 corners, but there are some people who forget that there are 3 other corners and they will keep using one same corner. That person will not be able to step outside their comfort zone. So that's where I need to like end.
All right.
Great. That person will not be able to step out of their comfort zone because one corner of the box. But you also mentioned something that I wanted to use as a way to introduce this topic, which is that we need leaders that would be accountable to us, be honest with us. And I believe one of such leaders have been chosen, at least from the receptions that he has received so far. And I'm talking about the person of Kisi Ajapeng, who has been confirmed by Parliament as the special prosecutor of Ghana. Kisi is a lawyer. He practices defense law. He's been involved in some high-stake cases, and he even says that sometimes he crosses to work on the side of the prosecution. In the case of Anas, whenever Anas would do investigations, he will be the one to go through all the evidence and make sure they are properly collected and can be presented, because some of these cases will go maybe all the way to the Supreme Court, and the evidence is the key. The evidence is what you use to prove the case, and therefore gathering it, making sure it's in the right format, it is legally prepared and presented, becomes very important. And he plays the key role. He's the one who organizes that for Anas. So based on that, he has experience, depending on, and even as a lawyer, sometimes he has to make that judgment as to what part of the case he is going to be, helping. And in such cases, he finds it important that his position or the part he plays is the prosecution. And so he's learned a lot about fighting corruption, even acquiring, because the questions that get asked is, how was that evidence even acquired? Is it legal? Especially with what Anas does is, right? They also go and use a tape to capture you in, a corruption act or committing an act of corruption. Is he inducing you to do such a thing himself? Is that evidence being collected legally? And him being very familiar with that, it's very important for the position he's about to hold. Now, I don't know if we all listened to him, and I'm sure the viewers listened to him, but I came out very impressed with what I heard. One of which is that currently we have a little conflict on the special prosecutor's law itself, the law that brought about that office. Now, this office is one of the key requirements of a lot of international organizations to determine whether a country's law enforcement environment is solid and good for business, so that international firms can come to invest in the economy. They want to know that you are able to investigate corruption, you are able to have the institutions in place that will fight corruption and strengthen your legal environment. So countries are judged based on having a special prosecutor's office. The law that brought the special prosecutor's office into being says that the special prosecutor has the same powers as the attorney general. In other words, he can initiate a case, he can process a case all the way to the end. But our Constitution in Article 88.3 says the Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and the conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. So there are conflicts here. You want me to read that again? So there's a conflict here. The Act of Parliament, which is the legislative body, which is the body that makes the laws, have made a law that says the special prosecutor can initiate and process criminal offenses. But the Constitution says the Attorney General shall be responsible for all the initiatives. So what is happening here is that when you are having to choose between which law to go by, the Constitution trumps any act. So power to initiate and prosecute criminal offenses remains with the Attorney General. This usually become very problematic, according to him, and in one of his submissions, this become problematic when you have a case that is part of a larger case. Let's say I'm paying somebody to go and commit a murder, right? The paying itself, it's a case on its own. You are collecting money for an illegal act. The committing of the murder itself is another criminal act. You are committing a murder. Let's say the Attorney General has the payment of the money part in their office that they are investigating, but the OSP is investigating the committing of the murder. If the OSP and the Attorney General disagree with each other, evidence will not be provided from the Attorney General's office to the OSP, and that becomes problematic. So right on, the law is stronger. There's a problem with the law, but how are we going to fix it? He's proposing that we would pass something called the Corrupt Practices Act. In UK, they call it the Bribery Act. In the US, we call it Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. What it does is, for institutions that are US companies doing business overseas, would be prevented from bribing or involving in any corruption activities. In other words, a US company who has been caught to have bribed a Ghanaian official is subject to the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and can be sued by the government and go prosecuted. Now they will use US investigators on this case. That is why sometimes the US companies don't get a lot of play in Ghana, because of the pay-to-play culture that we have. You wouldn't see a lot of US companies there because of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. You cannot bribe an official. You are in UK companies cannot bribe an official in Ghana because they fall under the bribery acts of UK. Ghana, he's recommending, should have a similar thing, which would kind of course, take some of the powers of the Attorney General's office to say he's the only one who can initiate prosecutions, kind of share that responsibility between him, the Attorney General, and the Office of Special Prosecutor, so that they can also initiate cases on their own and prosecute those cases. But that the Attorney General, even though they will be shielding a bit of their power away, they should be interested in any case that has been initiated by any other office, including the Special Prosecutor's Office. And I think that is so brilliant. I would measure him on the delivery of that legislation, because he promised that he will use his experience and his time to help Parliament, because this is something Parliament really needed to do. To do this, it may also require maybe that we amend Article 88.3, which kind of gave all the power to the special prosecutor. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to listen to this guy. What is your assessment? I am super impressed. I think he's going to do well. The concern on my show yesterday was that if he's given the enabling environment, sometimes even somebody as powerful as Martin Amidu told us in his corruption reports that he did on Ajapa that he's been asked by the presidency to delay release of the report. He felt pressured by the president in his role, and he was even visited by the Minister of Finance at the time that he was doing an investigation, and he was affiliated with the matters he was looking at. So the president, and the administration, if the environment is created, that this guy can be successful. Now, as a man, if the environment is not created, would he be able to, like you said, would he have the balls to resign? which we saw Martin Amidu did. But again, it all boils down to giving him the environment. What is your assessment of this guy as you've heard him?
All right. For me, I've never heard anything about this man. I saw him on social media.
Right.
First of all, he's a young man. I believe that if he will be neutral and start in the middle and do the right things, Ghanaians will support him. Yes, if he doesn't do political bias, because I believe that department need to be vote in. When I say vote in, is that I don't need it should not be a presidential appointee. It should be we should have people, we should have Ghanaian consent to it, and get people to vote people to positions like that. But our system is a little bit different. There are certain things that the president have to, you know, appoint and things like that. So if he has Ghana at heart, he's a young man and I want to be in the middle, be a neutral guy, and look at both, both places and both cases, and do the right things. Why not? I believe he'll be. I mean, I listened to your show at Ghana Agenda yesterday, and a lot of people were saying good stuff about him. So I mean, he should continue the good work and not fall into this corrupt system that we have. I mean, he should be the one change that we need, that will, change the whole Ghana for us. I mean, we need people like him. So if it's that person that people are saying, he should continue doing what he does. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say I support him, because I don't know. He hasn't been in that position before, so let him be in that position and let's judge him for what he does for Ghana from the position that he is now. So I mean, that's what I would say. My sister.
Yes. Like brother, after when you gave the summary of his ambition and the strategic plan he already have generated to making sure that there is no political bias in terms of the system that's in place, restricting him of his position. Because when you have someone in position, whereas they have been given power to do a lot of things, but then when it comes down to executing it, they have somebody in place to block them from getting to that position, then that position should not even be in the place, right? It doesn't work like that. So I'm glad that he introduced that idea. This way it will give him a lot of position opportunities in making sure that he does his job accordingly, and to prevent any bribery and other stuff coming from abroad and overseas and within the country itself, because a lot of time this is one of the problem. And he just being appointed, coming in, just point out one of the major setting condition in our system, whereas you appoint two different people, one is over the other, but then most times you have the higher up preventing the one beneath from doing their job. So he just pointed that out. So that itself should tell you that this is someone, a new face, a new person, very ambitious, and he's going to be neutral. And, as Brother Black said, as long as, he's not going to be a political bias, just because you were appointed by the government in position, that doesn't mean if stuff are not going accordingly, you're just going to cover it up and bring something forth, to have Ghanaians think that you're doing your job, even though you're not doing your job. And then the former special prosecutor, I was really disappointed. Yes, yeah. I was disappointed because when he was first appointed, we have a number of people in both NDC and MPP. They were both happy about him being put in that position. But then if he felt that, the president or other people in position were preventing him from doing his job, why did he stay within that position so long and get paid? Couldn't he come out earlier than the time that he resigned? Because, and he resigned very close to the time that the election was getting ready to take place. Because, I mean, he was there for a long time, a long while, right? So, like, when you have a position and you haven't been able to make any case or something, and you have someone prevent you from doing that, why wait so long? And this is some of the things that it bothers my mind. Like, a lot of us, like, when we come and we're not able to do our job, we put blame, we give excuses, we give reasons, and we pointing fingers. What are some of the things that you did that was prevented? Why were you not able to put that forth until the time that you resigning? Were you afraid to lose your job because you speak the truth? Like, all this stuff. Like, I whenever there's a situation, there's always two sides to the story. But it seems like Ghanaians are more interested in hearing one-sided story, and then we take it and then we run with it. It just, people in position just need to be truthful. They need to be honest, and they need to stop the manipulation and playing the parties against each other. It's not healthy for the nation, and it's not healthy for the citizens, because a lot of people are having mental health issues because of the back and forth and, like, the negativity. We need to move away from that. We need to build a healthy environment for our youth. I mean, we have children. What are our children going to grow into? This same thing again, over and over. We can have a new, a third party coming in. We can't even manage two parties. How are we going to manage three parties? And the third party coming in, they've been raising the same environment, the same corruption, the same bribery. Like, how are we going to change that? We need to make sure leaders that we put in place can be trusted, and they're not all about talk, because when one wants a position, they tell you what you want to hear. Okay? They don't tell you what they're going to do, because when you are outside a place, you think that it's easy to fix, but when you put your foot in it, you realize that it's bigger than you think. This man, new special prosecutor coming in, to see, is like, he's gonna have to deal with decades and decades and decades of corruption. It's not gonna take 1 year. It's not gonna take 2 years. It's going to take a lot of years before he can get everything in place. But with him starting off early with this bill or plan that he put in place, I applaud him for that, because he's already coming up strong and he's young. He's going to be a positive role model for the youth. And we need people in place that will motivate our youth not to be fighting, not to be insulting, using their intelligence, what they have, because we have education wisdom and we have home wisdom. So we need someone who will be a good example for our youth, because right now we need to focus on the youth. What are some of the things that we can do for them to come and run the country, and making sure that nobody is coming to be biased and nobody is going to come and share their foolishness, because we have passed that.
All right. We have passed that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Alfred, I think our time is fascinating, and we will,
Right.
the next 5 minutes, we'll wrap the show up. So, I'll start with my sister, who actually we are so appreciated to have her on board. She's very knowledgeable. She speaks so well, very respectful. I mean, we are happy to have her on board, and this is a strong family. And every Sunday, hey, MaKaaMaKa Freestyle is here. We are here to, speak our mind. I mean, that's what MaKaaMaKa is all about. We
Right.
say it like it is. And I have a solid team. Myself, Adra Odo, the guru, the political guru, Alfred Amozu. We have the likes of Berry, Cutie Queen, the superstar, Boga, Astona, and then we have Brother Kofi Ernest. I mean, we have a solid, amazing team. So hey, every Sunday come in here. Let's have some fun. Share the page. Share the page. We have a YouTube page as well. Follow us on YouTube. That's Trend Africa TV on YouTube. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Every all the social media platform we are on there. So search and follow and like our page. So I'll let my sister come in and give us her last word, and then we'll go from there. So, sister, Madam Adra Odomensai, it's all yours now.
Oh, thank you so much, Brother Black, and Brother Alfred. I want to thank you both, for hosting me today, allowing me to be part of this productive, wonderful platform. I appreciate both of you. And I know you guys today, being that this is my first time, we're being nice. But it's okay. You don't need to hold back. One thing that Ghanaians, we need to understand that in every situation, not all of us are not going to be on the same page, because we have different ideas, different point of views. So if I say something that you do not like, or you really do not support, it's okay for you to also express yourself and give your views without being disrespectful or attacking people, their personality, because that's what's wrong with us. We tend to attack people's personality and not deal with the problem itself. Let's all focus on what it is that we need in our nation, which areas that we want to be fixed. We should not put it generalized. We need to make sure, because we have to fix one at a time. And change comes with time. Change does not happen overnight. So whoever is feeding anybody that, oh, you can just snap your finger and change comes about, that is a lie. Because a lot of times people they feel like, okay, if we have a neutral person, someone new party comes in, everything will be fixed. It doesn't work like that. So we just need to exercise patience, but we need to use our voice productively with effective communication. If you are upset, mad, control your anger and use your words. Have a dialogue with another person. Being opposite each other does not mean that you have to belittle the other person, because someone's stupid idea might be actually bigger idea than your so-called greater idea. So we just need to be civilized and be able to effectively get along, coexist, and help our country move forward, because I think that we all want the same thing, but we do it from different directions. So we just need to have better understanding with each other.
Wow. All right. So, Brother Alfred, it's all yours now, my brother.
Yeah, I like that my sister carried, the being cordial advice from the beginning, all the way to the end. That is pretty good. I enjoyed
We
it.
know the feisty. We know the feisty type. I mean, that will come. We know the feisty
She's
type.
she's
You know,
she's
that's
feisty, but she's low key feisty.
yeah. All right, brother.
All right. So yeah, what I would say is I like everything you said, my sister, although except one of them, because you said if you disagree, we should say that one, which is that Amidu should have left earlier and he was there. And no, Amidu should stay the course. You don't just go and face a responsibility that you have to carry out and somebody's frustrating you. So boom, you just go. I think you should still stay, work hard, try your best to normalize relationship and be able to work together with that person. But when you get to a certain point where your efforts is not yielding any result and the outcome of you staying longer wouldn't really benefit the country, you should be bold enough to step aside and have somebody else be chosen. This is what we are lacking right now, where the Minister of Health is saying he's incapable of making decisions under pressure, but he's not resigning, just like Amidu did when he was facing problems. And Amidu's issue has been documented. He's been frustrated with even the building, just the location that he will start his office. his staff that he will use were not even given to him. Amiru lamented and lamented and lamented and lamented. And like I said, I don't think it would be proper for him to just leave because we're not giving him staff or building and all that. But when the president wants to interfere with an investigation that you've undertaken, that is grave. Just go right to the core of our governance system. So that at that point, I think Amiru should resign. Because you can't let yourself be manipulated as a man by someone with a higher power, your appointer. And I think if this current Kisi Ajaben there's an attempt made to manipulate him by his appointer, the president or government officials, he should have the balls enough to resign at that time as well. Whether he has a new building or not, he should be able to resign. So that's the one thing I disagree with you. But oh my God, you should have been on the
Duty noted.
Good. Yeah. So, oh my God, you should be on my show every time. I will invite you to the Ghana Agenda so you can bring some calm. If you're able to bless us with your time,
I think you can bring her on Ghana Agenda so that she will be the neutral person, and then
she will be the neutral voice, the voice of reason.
That guy start fighting, she will be the one that will butter things up. But yes, I mean, Alfred, are you done with your submission?
Well, I just wanted to conclude that, and every time too, one of the parts I enjoy, it's every now and then she drops some psychological advices in there. It's like we all went through some therapy before this show ended today, so very grateful for that. Great appointment so far. The IGP one is one we'll talk about in the future. Another great appointment. It feels like some fresh air in the room, all of a sudden. We're just hoping that these individuals who have been appointed are able to deliver. As far as Kennedy Agyapong is concerned, which is something we talked about, I still think it's sending the wrong signals. Leaders should send the right signals, and people will follow. If you go to the king's house and the king is dancing in a certain way, trust me, everybody's going to copy that because
that's right.
So that is my final word for you today. It's been great, and thank you to the viewers.
All right, that's Alfred Amosin and my sister Adra Odomensan. She has a platform on social media, on Facebook. Follow her. It's just simple as that. Adra Odomensan. And then she dropped a lot of, she's very knowledgeable. She dropped a lot of advice and things like that, especially when it comes to marriage. She goes deep and deeper waters. I mean, when we do a marriage seminar here, you will see her strength. She's very powerful. So I mean, go on Facebook and follow her page, and you never. I mean, you'll see that you follow a good page. Alfred Amuzu at the same time on Ghana Agenda. When you type into Ghana Agenda on Facebook, it's right there. Everything political that is going on every Saturday from Central Time, that is 1 to 3. You get Ghana Agenda, and it's on Trend Africa TV as well. Yes, Trend Africa, there's a lot of things that is coming up on our pipeline. We have our radio that is coming up. I mean, we already doing the transmission and things like that. So, hey, radio is coming up. Our TV Ghana sector is coming up. We have the US sector. The team is amazing. We are here. We are pushing it to the top. It's all about Ghana. Ghana first. I mean, I love Ghana. When you see what I'm wearing, I don't think you guys have seen what I'm wearing. I love Ghana so much that everywhere I go is Ghana. My last name is even Ghana now. I mean, if I wake up, you can see, this is by Odinoho. My brother is wearing Odinoho as well. Big up to Odinoho. That's our designer.
Odinoho all the way.
Yes. So, I mean, we have every platform. Check in, bring your business. I mean, we are here to support you. When you have any business that you want us to do commercial on it, we are here to help you with that. Let's drop some shoulders. Drop your commercials. We have the business team will talk to you, and then we'll help you expand your business or bring traffic to your business, and then we're all gonna laugh at the end. So same time next week, we will bring you MaKaaMaKa again. But before I will go, let me play. I'm not gonna play anything, but it's bye-bye for now.
It's Hot Ice exclusive on the beat.
Black is Yaba, MaKaaMaKa. Entertainment and sports, MaKaaMaKa. I say politics, MaKaaMaKa. Royal Black is Assembly Safwa, Bia Assembly Puno, Sanepi Adekami, Ekome Yakotofumi, Ekome Yamisebe, you want love fake hanging, MaKaaMaKa. Royal Black is MaKaaMaKa. All the trending issues, MaKaaMaKa. I say politics, MaKaaMaKa. Entertainment and sports, MaKaaMaKa. RBJ Diaba, where you fool from crowd. Asemi Safwa, yeah, Asemi Puno. Sasemi Ba, yeah, Becca. Sanya Betino, Sabape Fena, Becca.